World Supercross 2023, year number 2 of the WSX Championship opens at the British Grand Prix at the hallowed ground of Villa Park in Birmingham in the United Kingdom, home of the world-famous Aston Villa Football Club. The stadium has been transformed into the ultimate Supercross battleground for the first time in its history. Led by defending WSX champ Ken Roczen and SX2 champ Shane McElrath, 44 of the world's best Supercross riders have descended on the sporting heart of the Midlands to begin their 2023 WSX Championship campaign.
Ken Roczen, Germany. Max Anstey, England.
Matt Moss, Australia.
Thomas Fremet, France.
Shane McElrath, the great United States of America.
Stay tuned, you're about to witness history in the making. Villa Park is over 100 years old. It opened in 1897, and it's the home of the Aston Villa Football Club. But today, it's the home of the season opener for the World Supercross Championship. Last year, it was a pilot season. This year, it's truly the season opener and the beginning of history for the World Supercross Championship. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside my good buddy, the 1996 champion of Supercross, Jeff Emig. And Jeff, as I said, a pilot season last year, 2 rounds, 6 rounds this year, literally taking us around the globe. Somebody's gonna be a world champion when we get to Australia.
Yeah, and there was a lot of newness last year, and we have some new riders this year, but I really do believe that the teams have a lot of this championship figured out, right? They travel around with 3 travel cases for the motorcycles and the parts and everything in the setup. The riders have to get used to traveling the world. Now it's just beginning. If you're from America, you have a short flight over to here to England. But if you're from Australia, you've flown halfway across the world here. But now the night is beginning here for the British Grand Prix, and we're super excited about it.
This is SX2 GP race number 1. 21 riders in the gate, 6 laps for race 1. The rider that scores the most points, Jeff, will get the overall win here at the end of the night in Birmingham. All right, season about to get underway for the SX2 category. Race number 1 underway. The GP season for SX2 is beginning. Oh, and look at McElrath right to the front as he comes out first at a chaos corner, and he's got Luke Clout, the Australian, right on his heels.
Wow, look at that.
Problems here for Chris Blows on the 3. That is going to be hard to bounce back from.
He won his heat race.
Oh, McElrath and Clout beginning bar-to-bar competition here as we're pushing early on here in GP number 1. And here comes Max Anstey from 3rd, challenging for 2nd already to the outside of the Australian.
Oh, he kept
Clout
up short
with a bobble, and there goes Anstey past, flying over the triple jump, and Anstey's up into 2nd place to the thrills of the crowd here in Birmingham. And Mitchell Oldenburg rides in 4th.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Ralph. These top 4 riders, McElrath, Anstey, Clout, and Oldenburg, Lopes in 5th, certainly were inside of my top 5 of guys that I think, okay, they are the early favorites in this championship, and they're proving it by getting off the gate quickly here. But watch this. 21 riders trying to funnel into one little spot, and Blows, after winning his heat, gets a handlebar stuck in the swing arm.
Oh, look at the landing McElrath had there, Jeff. He landed so flat on that and took all that impact.
And that's the section that they just came through right there.
Here's 3rd and 4th right here. The 7, that's Oldenburg. And Lopes is in this group as well. And Clout, Jeff, is slipping backwards after a great start on that number 4.
Watch Lopes, he's going to be short right here.
Oh, and remember, he's got that dislocated shoulder. You can only imagine how that's got to feel as all that pain goes shooting up through your arm.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to case any jumps right there and put any more wear and tear on it. But right now, he's just letting the adrenaline take over. I think he's got it, Ralph.
Here comes Lopes inside, and he's going to push past, and Clout again loses another spot. So it was a tremendous start for the young Australian, and now he finds himself struggling back here in 5th in GP race number 1. And behind him, somebody he knows all too well, another Australian rider, Tanti. Aaron Tanti back there in 6th.
I'll tell you, Ralph, the 56 here of Enzo Lopes, I mean, that's just, for him to be riding at this pace after what happened to him earlier, I mean, it really shows the determination and the level of where he's been. His Supercross riding this past 12 months has been exceptional. The Club MX riders, or team, they have high hopes for him. And the fact that he's sort of just gritting his teeth and getting through this slight injury that he had,
and
definitely impressive.
Here's Anstey riding along in second on that 99. So many friends and family members in the grandstands. 30 years of age, grew up in Winchester, England, second in the SX2 points last year. He wants it all here in 2023. And then right behind him on that 7, Mitchell Oldenburg.
Getting a little bit of shadows here. The sun has come out once again here in Birmingham.
Shadows
which
and
doesn't happen
brilliant
much.
sunshine makes it very difficult for your eyes to focus as quickly as these guys are navigating the racetrack here inside of Villa Park.
Yeah, and I had a great conversation with Chad Reed a little bit earlier, former world Supercross champion, about if that going from the sunshine to the shaded areas bothered him. And he said, yeah, it really messes with his focus. And I was glad to hear, because I thought I was the only one that had problems with that.
Well, and of course, we're so far north here, Jeff, that the sun won't even set here in Birmingham until we're done with our final GP race of the evening later on as we continue to watch Anstey here.
But both riders just putting down great laps. 42.7 for Shane McElrath, a 42.9 for Anstey. That's their best laps. So you can see they're just right there pacing each other, slowly pulling away from Mitchell Oldenburg, who just a couple of tenths of a second off of the leaders.
And McElrath races for Rick Ware, the team based. Oh, there's the checker flag to end SX2 GP number 1, and the win will go to Shane McElrath, the reigning SX2 champion. Getting ready for British GP SX2 GP race number 2. 21 riders again, 6 laps the distance. Here we go, underway, GP race number 2 for SX2. Not a good start for McElrath this time.
Oh, wow.
And one rider down all on his own. Whoa, look at this pileup over here. Nice is involved. Oh, man. Yoder gets up and gets going. Park stuck in the middle. He can't break free. And there's one rider trapped on the ground down here.
That was Cloud.
Cloud has had a terrible day here in Birmingham. Not what he expected at all. There's Blos riding along in second, and it's Anstey out front.
Well, now remember, Blos is the rider that had problems in the first start, in the first turn. Now he gets through there clear. And that's one thing about WSX competition, is with 3 races that make up the Grand Prix, like anything can happen and results change quite a bit, just like we saw 1 year ago.
Like you said, I mean, Blos was on the ground and out of it in the first one. Now he's in second and probably not that far out of it.
Good move up the inside here. Looking like Lopes charging up through again on the 56. Here he comes. Chad, you've had to deal with a dislocated shoulder like Enzo Lopes as we see him here on the 56. Lopes right now in 6th. He was top 5, GP number 1. How difficult is it for him here tonight?
Yeah, trying to watch the replay here, and it's like a domino effect. It just starts from the inside, and then nobody from the outside can even make the turn.
Yeah, I can't even get around the turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but to answer your question there, Ralph, like I said in the qualifying practices today, I think today is the best point for him. He has to take advantage of getting really solid points, because I think he gets sore tomorrow in the coming days. Then he's going to deal with it tonight. It's at least been my experience in the past.
And if he wants a shot at this championship, as our buddy, our mutual friend, the great Ricky Carmichael has said, he's won numerous championships. You got to win your championships on your worst days, and Enzo Lopes is doing that here today, guys. He is running as hard as he possibly can, when most of us who are normal human beings would be laid up saying, that's it, I'm done for a while.
You got to do what you got to do, but it's not fun.
Aaron Tanti on the 9 is charging pretty good. He's in 9th right now. He's right behind Desprez and Escoffier just in front of him, and he's trying to see if he can get around them.
Yeah, that finish line jump, for some of the riders there, if you don't get a good drive, I mean, it's good thing there's a little flat spot on top of it, not just a peak, because they're really coming up short at times.
It's everything they got, it looks like. There, it really pops them up. And then outside guys coming from the, outside. It's almost like they're coming left to right and then opposite from the inside out. So it's, it looks scary from our point of view.
So McElrath, who won GP #1, had a terrible start to GP2, but now he's up to second. He's in front of Blos. He's got a ways to go to catch Max Anstey. You can see Anstey already headed back in the other lane.
Yeah, really, the rider that was up front in that top 5 that's really suffered the most right now, as you look way down to 18th place, the number 7, and Mitchell Oldenburg way back. That's going to cost him.
It's Anstey, McElrath, Blos, Lopes, and Owen, your top 5 here in SX2 GP #2. Blos in third, 35 years old, out of Phoenix, as we mentioned. Finished third in SX2 points in 2022. Here's McElrath over that big wall, coming to the finish line jump. This huge jump here, Chad.
Really big, and as you can see, they get a bit of a kick off of that last jump going into it, and it just really upsets them and gets their drive all messed up.
Here's Max Anstey, who won 1 GP race at each of the first 2 races last year in our pilot season. He won this very GP #2 at Cardiff last year over in Wales, and won the first one at Melbourne, but he'd never won the overall at either race.
Well, Anstey's out front looking great, but Enzo Lopes just turned the fastest lap of this race at a 42.5.
And he's up to 4th, Jeff.
Yeah, he's moving. He's not going to catch the leader.
Checkered flag, Max Anstey wins GP #2 here in front of the hometown crowd in Birmingham. GP race #3, 21 riders, 10 laps this time, the final SX2 GP race of the British Grand Prix. Final start for the SX2 riders. Here we go. Chaos Corner awaits. Who's going to get there first? McElrath right there, and the #1 is #1 with Anstey right on his heels, looking to the inside on the red Honda.
All
Top
right.
2 battling for the overall win here. They both have won a heat race. Who's going to win the #3 race?
Right, this is where it all comes down to. This is where the points and the money. Oh, big crash through the rhythm. Couple of guys go flying.
Not good.
And Oldenburg sits in 3rd. He's closing in. McElrath, Anstey, Oldenburg. And here comes Lopes on the 56. Clout involved in another one. What a night for Luke Clout, and not in a good way. First lap is in the books.
2 winners going for it.
Shane McElrath and Max Anstey fly over the finish line jump with Oldenburg right on their heels. And here comes Enzo Lopes already up to 4th.
Yeah, Lopes once again. He may not be. Oh, we've got red cross flags, yellow flags. We've got riders still down. That looks
That's
like
Michael
Alessi.
Alessi. Michael Alessi on the 800 is down hard in that rhythm lane.
And so the riders have to single every jump. You're not allowed by rule to double any jumps. You have to roll through there for safety of the downed rider.
McElrath back into the throttle. Anstey right there with him.
I'm telling you guys, Oldenburg sets back there in 4th. Well,
let's take a look at this. Watch for the 800 deeper in the field.
oh, some riders get together.
Oh,
that was Blos.
And
So
Alessi.
Alessi was going to try to jump to the inside,
Correct.
and Blos was there.
Alessi is, come across from the right, from the right to the left, and unfortunately, Blos had nowhere to go but to land on top of him there.
Oh, man,
And you can
he
see
went
as
right-
they were headed to that rhythm lane, Shane McElrath looking over to the left because he knew that's where that situation was, and he knew to be a little bit slower through there again. And now he bobbled a little bit through there too, Jeff, and that allowed Anstey, when they got back clear of it, to close in a little bit.
Well, and McElrath just made a big mistake in the turn right after the Alessi situation, and that allowed Anstey, Lopes, Oldenburg, they're right there. I mean, McElrath has lost a little bit of his focus, and he may lose the lead.
What makes it really difficult with respect to Mike Alessi on the ground here is these guys having to roll through this whole section completely ruins their flow of the whole lap, and it makes it actually quite challenging.
You can see McElrath again looking over to be aware of what's the situation with Alessi. Mike's still down on the ground.
Look at Lopes, though. He's finding, oh, look, it's getting a little bit rutted there. Lopes taking the long way around. Club MX, Yamaha team's got to be really happy with how their man is performing here.
Anstey having to worry about Lopes behind him, while at the same time trying to figure out how he's going to catch Shane McElrath and get around the rider from North Carolina. And here he comes looking inside. Anstey, oh, he was right there, just couldn't get it closed in that corner.
I mean, this is it. This is for the GP win.
Halfway home in this opening Grand Prix of the 2023 season, and McElrath looked to the right this time.
Red flag.
Yeah, it's looking that way. Everybody's slowing this time to a crawl, and the red flag is out. Here we go.
Keep an eye on that. There they go. They're saying, get
McElrath,
going.
Anstey, and the rest are underway.
There they are. They
just
just
as you
made
said,
it.
boy, they just made it too, didn't they? McElrath out in front with Anstey on his heels once again as we get back at it here at the British Grand Prix.
Well, and guys, I'm looking at the rider, Mitchell Oldenburg, who's been quick all day. He was in fourth, and he started going back just, oh, we got to pass for the lead.
Anstey going for it, and he
cost him.
bobbles, and that's going to open the door for Lopes. Here he comes. Enzo trying to get inside. Dislocated shoulder and all, going for it here at Villa
He's got
Park.
it.
Enzo's got the inside here.
It's going to work.
So
Lopes is up in front of Anstey.
Yeah, what I was going to say is Oldenburg has a chance to sort of redeem himself right here if he can stay with the lead group. They inched away from him last time.
Oh, you can see the bobble from Anstey, almost lost the front end, then slid the rear end, and that's going to open the door, and here comes Lopes.
So he's
So
kinda,
Chad, did he mean to do that, or did he go inside because of the bobble?
yeah, like for me, it looked like he was gonna dive on the inside, and he's kind of lost the front, and he's just stayed committed, and unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out for him.
Could Enzo Lopes reel in Shane McElrath and get a GP win here tonight?
Well, McElrath, once he gets on this 250, Rick Ware Racing, Mobile One back Yamaha, he has just found his groove here in World Supercross. Little mistake by Anstey, that's going to cost him.
What a ride by Lopes here today. Dislocates his shoulder in the first practice session of the day. I mean, it was all the way out. Had a medical worker put it back in place for him. Comes out and performs incredibly well in all three GPs here tonight.
And he just looks so calm. He's really rode awesome, and just I think he's being smart, and we don't obviously know how much pain he's in, but just, yeah, I just like the way he's looked all day with what he's been dealing with.
It's going to certainly hurt tomorrow, but it's going to feel a lot better if he's standing on the podium.
I agree.
Just a couple of laps remaining here in this race, and as we were starting to talk about earlier, Shane McElrath leads by 5 points over Max Anstey. So if he hangs on for this win, Jeff, he will be the overall winner.
Yeah, McElrath has a few points to work with right now. I mean, even if Lopes really put the pressure on, if Lopes gets close enough, you know, McElrath, I'm sure he wants to win this race, but if it means just giving Lopes a little bit of room so he doesn't take him out, at least you've got those points to work with to give you the GP win.
And Shane won both overalls last year at Cardiff and at Melbourne en route to his first SX2 championship last fall.
I mean, he's inching up on him, right?
He is.
He's
Lopes
got the
is
line.
closing. Enzo's on a charge. Rick Ware Racing winning a Wally and NHRA competition already this year at Chicago with Clay Milliken, their driver there. They're competing in Denver this weekend, the Mile High Nationals. They won an American flat track race for KTM just a weekend ago at Lima, Ohio for Briar Bauman, their rider there. And here comes Lopes inside, new leader, and McElrath bounces right back, gets back in front of him.
I mean, Chad Lopes he looks like he's doing it really easy too. Is there going to be one lap to go here in this final race? Lopes is working the bikes. You saw points as they run.
And McElrath's teammate, Rick Ware.
Here he goes, here he
comes
goes.
Lopes again inside. McElrath bouncing back to the inside. He's not done yet. The reigning champ wants that #1 again here tonight, and he's got it the next corner. Jensen Button, the former Formula One world champion. P3, by the way. today at Chicago, where NASCAR will be running their first street race this weekend. So it's a great weekend for Rick Ware Racing if Shane McElrath can win here and maybe Jenson Button tomorrow. Oh, down goes Lopes. And don't forget, he's got a dislocated shoulder and he landed right on it. Checkered flag, Shane McElrath wins the British GP here in Birmingham, England. Ladies and gentlemen, it's podium time for the FIM World Supercross Championship SX2 category here in Birmingham. Presenting the trophies today, SX Global CEO, Mr. Adam Bailey. In third place, it's Enzo Lopes. In second place, it's Max Anstey. And your round winner, please congratulate Shane McElrath. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate your winners of the World Supercross SX2 Championship here in Birmingham, England. It's time for the champagne. Let it fly, boys. All right, there goes the 30-second board away. Ready to go. Underway here into the chaos corner for the first time. Who's going to come out with the lead?
Freezy,
Vince Freezy, first one out. And everybody chasing him as this one gets underway.
Hill is third.
He's right there on the green machine. And Roxon sits there in fourth. Roxon around the outside. Here he comes right after Hill, trying to cut back to the inside.
Yeah, that's Thomas.
Here he comes, full throttle, through the whoops. Roxon gets one, almost two, and then he bobbles, and Hill bounces right back after him.
Yeah,
back to the inside.
Yeah, that's Thomas Ramette, the number 6 on the GSM Yamaha.
Bobble by Roxon. That allows Hill to get away about a half a bike length. And now he looks to the inside because he knows Roxon's coming back on the attack.
Yes, pay attention to the line that Roxon has in the turn before the finish line. Okay, just next time around, see where he's at. Now he's riding some outside lines, trying not to follow. Oh, he's trying to...
He looked at Hill, goes for Ramette, and he gets him. Hill goes to second.
Hill goes wide, that's gonna open the door.
Oregon, and here comes Roxon back to the inside. Ken Roxon, the reigning champion, trying to make a run on Hill and Ramette at the same time. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Vince Freezy is in the lead of GP race number 1.
Oh, Roxon takes the spot. Boom.
Roxon gets around Ramette. Now he's lining up in his sights the 46 of Hill. Here he comes. Bar to bar they go.
Oh, he overjumps
he bounced over that one.
He's going to pull a tear off right now, kind of regroup. Things are happening really quick. Remember, this is 8 laps.
Hill doing a great job of hanging in there, Jeff, under all the pressure from the reigning champ. I mean, Roxon is throwing everything at him, doing everything he can to upset him, and Hill is fighting it all off. But look at the speed of Roxon as he blasts through that rhythm lane.
Oh, he's almost off the side of the track right there. I cannot wait for the replay on that pass.
Hill holds,
here we go.
You ask, you get, here it is.
He just stayed lower in the berm. Hill went around the outside. Roxon just turned the Suzuki down and exited the turn with authority. Drove right past him. That was really impressive by Ken Roxon.
He just ripped through that whoop section and right into second place. Now, can Roxon reel in Freezy, who last year was top 5 in all 6 GP races, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th at Cardiff, 4th, 3rd, and 5th at Melbourne, finished 3rd in the overall at the British Grand Prix, 4th at the Aussie GP last season, 2nd in points.
Yeah, and you just saw the fast lap times. Freezy had the fast time. Roxon just bested it with a 42.2.
Roxon gets into that tough block a little bit.
Whoa, Roxon just turned a 40.7, which was a second and a half faster than Freezy. Roxon is totally on rails right now.
That might be the fastest lap we've seen all day, Jeff.
Freezy
makes a huge mistake, and that opens the door. Roxon takes full advantage of it. You cannot give Ken Roxon an opportunity like that. Freezy gets back on the bike, holds on to second, but that's going to be hard to bounce back from.
So watch the top of your screen there. Freezy goes to the inside, and he misses his line, washes the front end. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, he grabbed a little bit of front brake and washed out. Roxon had just set his fastest time, basically the same as what he and Justin Hill were doing in Super Pole. And
Hill is back
that's a pressure
in third
thing.
as we watch Roxon on his progressive back Pipes Motorsports Group Suzuki. Here comes Hill chasing Freezy. The battle for second is on. There goes Savachi, who's in fourth. There's Seeley and Wilson. Those two battled hard in their heat race. They're going to do it as well here in GP number 1.
I mean, and the riders are
in front of
lined
them.
up. Yeah, it's like wheel to wheel ride. One of the Yamaha riders made a mistake there, possibly Ramet, the French rider. Not sure if it cost him, but he lost a little bit of time.
39-year-old Justin Brayton sitting there.
Nichols off the track. Nichols missed the turn there before the wall jump.
Oh, Wilson slides all the way into that corner, just to the inside of Seeley, who's right in the middle of this Honda sandwich. There's Roxon, meanwhile, just clicking him off, 40.728, his fastest lap.
So Roxon has slowed down about a second a lap right now. His last time around was a 41.7. Here he comes again.
Jeff, do you think that's the track changing, or is he just changing his approach to how he's running this first GP?
So backing off the intensity a little bit, riding a little bit safer. He doesn't need to ride at that pace, as he's got a slight gap right now, about a 4-second lead.
Is some of that saving the heart rate for GP number 2?
I don't think he's saving anything like that. I'm just thinking a little less risk.
Okay. Balancing risk reward.
Exactly.
And there is Ken working his way around.
Really no
this
surprise.
One coming to a completion here real quick. And Roxon looking at GP number 1 going his way. Ken Roxon, final corner, double checkers wave. Ken Roxon wins GP number 1 here in Birmingham. Here we go, next race. Well, it's GP number 2. 22 riders back in the gate. 8 laps once again inside of Villa Park here in Birmingham. Revs are up. Here we go. Watch the gate. Who's going to get the whole shot at Chaos Corner? Oh, a little bumping and banging on the inside. Oh, one rider down hard, a couple off.
Freezy.
Freezy once again. Good call, Jeff. Freezy taking the whole shot. Brayton sits in second. It's Matt Moss down hard. Matt Moss, the Australian rider, down hard.
Couple of riders, they probably clip bars going down the start straight there. They're not on the racing surface, so they can tend to them.
And Roxon just inside the top 10. He's got a long way to go in this one, Jeff. He's about 8th or 9th.
And a short time to get there. It's only 8 laps. Okay, let's go back to the last race in Melbourne in 2022. Freezy and Brayton were teammates. There was some bad blood after the race was over. Let's just leave it at that. So now let's see if Brayton can reel Freezy in, and if that's any sort of motivation for the veteran.
Flying into your living room there as he's trying to get inside of Savachi here. This battle is for 5th, so already Roxon on the charge, trying to not be in the top 10, but in the top 5 here.
Watch Roxon, he's really good in this turn. Oh, we just missed him out of the shot.
Meanwhile, there's Freezy up in front of them. There's Brayton, here comes Hill, and Roxon right there.
Looks like
Moran's in there too on the 80.
Yeah,
and Moran's is doing a really cool thing. He's doing a crowdsourcing thing, Jeff. On his jersey, you can give him some money, about 50 bucks or so, and he'll put your name right on his jersey.
Right on the forum, yep. Go to his website for that info.
Got to be creative
look at
your marketing. 39-year-old Brayton out in front and leading here, GP number 2. And here comes Roxon getting around Moran's. He's got Hill lined up next in his sights, and then it's Brayton in front of that. Brayton was 4th at Cardiff, 3rd at Melbourne, finished 4th in the overall FIM World Supercross Championship last year.
And Ralph, I'm seeing
Oh, look at that. Here comes Roxon. through that whoop section again. So fast in there. He's got Brayton, and now it's Hill in front of him.
Yeah, Brayton just got passed twice. Hill and Roxon went by. Two of the fastest tonight. But look at Roxon is just his intensity that he's riding with. The other riders just can't match it. And what I really noticed there with Justin Brayton, some of the lines he was taking, some of the ruts, there was a lot of chop in those ruts, and that's from the rocks that are in the dirt. It makes those lines really choppy and difficult.
As we saw in Super Bowl, Hill was the only rider here today that could run a lap at the same pace as Roxon, and he's dealing with him now. Freezy continues to lead. Roxon is around Hill, and now he's got to go chase down Vince Freezy.
Okay, look on the center. Well, that was there on the center with Moss clipped somebody. I mean, there were riders going down that in totally different spots right there. Oh, Grant Harlan down right on. His visor breaks off. That was right. Okay, now the race is on. Freezy, he had the lead last time and fell with the lead. No doubt the pressure of Ken Roxon was part of it. He's in the same situation as race 1. So can Freezy hold on? Lap 5 of 8. Roxon's back there.
You saw the gap from first to second, Freezy to Roxon. As you pointed out, Jeff, this battle is on, and Freezy could have, probably should have.
Oh, somebody's off the track. Oh, no, sorry. To me, Hill cross-ridered or something there. I thought he was jumping into the expensive seats here at Villa Park. Wow.
Well, Freezy, you see him coming the other way just as Roxon comes to the landing part of the finish line jump. Vince Freezy, Kristen, has to feel like he left one on the table after GP race number 1. Yeah, and this last GP race coming up is going to be a longer one, Jeff.
Yeah, looking at the lap times, it was 2.9 second gap back to Roxon. Now it's 1.7, so Roxon at least a second a lap quicker right now. There's only 2 laps to go.
That's the challenge, right? And it's not even 2 full laps. It's about a lap and a half, maybe less than that now, as they're coming to the line here to complete lap number 7. It's going to be 1 to go. Roxon over the wall jump. Finish line jump is up next for Freezy.
Last lap.
What's the gap? It was 1.7. It is now 0.635, and Roxon is on him.
Yeah, and that
the battle
pressure
is on for the race win here in GP number 2. Can Roxon sweep it all here tonight? Can Freezy shut the door on the champ and take one away from him?
Okay, watch the lines. Freezy goes inside. Roxon has a faster line on the outside. Can he skim the whoops and blow past him for the win?
Well, this is where he is so fast, and
No.
Roxon doesn't get there. Can Freezy hold on just a little bit longer to the checkered flag?
It's going to be tight because there's really no passing spot unless he gets over the wall quickly.
Well, he
does.
Can't. Freezy, 1 corner to go. Checkered flag awaits the double checkers. Roxon goes inside. The win goes to Freezy. Gets the win.
0.02 second gap. Or 2/10 of a second,
by
sorry.
2/10 of a second. His timing and scoring finally catches up with us. Vince Freezy wins GP number 2. Well, the next race is the final race, GP race number 3, 22 riders, 12 laps the distance inside of Villa Park. The overall win awaits one of the riders in this field of 22. 30-second board is up. Riders catching their last big breath of air. Starting to lean over those handlebars, clicked into gear. Watch the revs come up. Waiting, here we go. Off to Chaos Corner we go. Who's gonna survive? Look at the number 3 of Freezy once again back to the front. And where's Roxon? Not a great start, but better than the last one. He's inside the top 5 and already trying to make moves on Brayton.
Banging
That'll
some
put him up to
bars.
4th. Ken's got to stay upright. That's the big thing. Savachi with a good start. He's got the Rick Ware machine up into 2nd. And it's Moran's battling with Roczen right now over third, and Ken's cleared him. So much easier, not a great start, Jeff, but a much easier one than he had in GP number 2.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if Savatgy has something here. He's been good in the third and final races. A little bit longer stretch here, 12 laps, but Roczen has been so fast and riding with such intensity.
And he knows he has the speed. Can he take his time to pick off Savatgy here?
Evidently
well,
not.
done.
Evidently not. He's just going for it.
It wasn't very hard though, too, was it?
And Freezy's going to know that Roczen's back there. He's going to see that yellow fender somewhere along the line. Freezy's switching up his lines a little bit. That inside was not good.
He's going to see it pretty soon, I got to believe. Roczen,
maybe right
like
here,
a rocket out of that corner. He is so good through the whoops, and he's right there. They touch right through that
and
corner.
He takes him wide.
Freezy hangs on barely into the tough blocks, and Freezy continues to stay out front. And Savatgy goes to the lead. Joey takes advantage of all the carnage, and Savatgy's your new leader for Rick Ware.
Well, and that's very much a Vince Freezy type of move. Somebody goes to pass you. He likes to take you wide and really try to stall your momentum. Savatgy flew right by, got a twofer right there.
There goes Roczen. Roczen passed Freezy, and now going after Savatgy. And don't forget, Savatgy won the third and final race at Australia last fall. Roczen trying to get him here. Joey fighting off. Savatgy doing a great job of hanging on the Mobil 1 Yamaha. But Roczen just too tough on his progressive back Suzuki. He's your new leader here in GP race number 3.
Wow, Roczen riding with such great instinct to manage his way through those riders and predict what the traffic, or not the traffic, the competitors are going to do. Savatgy should have taken him high right here. He blocked him out. Savatgy thought Roczen was going to hit the brakes. Instead, Roczen bravely just stayed on the outside.
Savatgy left him that outer lane, and Ken Roczen, being one of the best dirt bike racers on the planet right now, took full advantage of it and gets to the lead.
And Ralph, Freezy is now back to 5th. Wilson is 3rd. So something happened to Freezy during that exchange, and he lost some valuable positions.
Oh, one rider just going down in the corner there, too. Might have been Seeley. It looks like Cole. Yeah, that's Cole Seeley. Struggling to get up, to get his Honda back up. Let's see what happened to the 14 here.
Yeah, so dry, got some stones there. Oh, the rear tire just slides out right there. He was already on the throttle, and the rear tire was like 6 or 8 inches out of the line. And
tough break for the
down
Motor Concepts rider.
That's, yep. Put Seeley in about 16.
Ken Roczen at 42.550.
Wow, this is a championship type effort here out of Ken Roczen. I mean, he really showed the competition that he was here to win this thing.
I'll tell you what though, Jeff, the competition showed him it's not going to be a cakewalk, because they came after him pretty hard here today.
Definitely.
Hill early on today, and now also we see Freezy there too.
Taking a look back through the field here, you've got Aranda, or he's got Chisholm. It just got past Aranda right here on the Suzuki. So Chisholm being the teammate of Ken Roczen on that PMG Suzuki. Aranda, the rider out of France. Chisholm, one of the bench. Uh-oh, we got Seeley. He's right, or sorry. Now that's Seeley. He's dropping and now out or off of the course. Not sure if something else happened right there, but a great battle that we have going on just inside the middle part of the top 10 here with Chisholm and Aranda.
So Roczen out front. And Jeff, we've been informed by our FIM officials and WSX officials that they are investigating potential penalties in WSX race number 2, the one we just completed. They might have had a rider make a pass for position, riders, I should say plural, under medical flag situations in one part of the racetrack. We didn't see that on camera, but they're investigating that. That would impact where the riders finished officially. So the finishing order of this and the overall for now will be unofficial until that is cleared up.
Well, Roczen out front flying. Last lap was a 43.4, but his best is a 42.5. And that's over a second quicker than anyone else on the track. Roczen looking extremely comfortable and focused at this point. Maybe with 4 laps to go, the only real challenge is to not make any little mental mistakes and any lapped riders that he comes across. Now, Savatgy's trying to keep him honest, but he's still 5 seconds behind. And right there, Savatgy gets the hops going through the whoops, and that'll cost him a little bit in his lap time.
Well, we've seen this racetrack reach out and yank riders down today, beginning at the very first session of the day when it grabbed into Lopes, yanked him to the ground, dislocated his shoulder. We saw Vince Friese have the same problem in GP race number 1 for the WSX category. So as smooth as Ken seems to be here today, he's got to be careful because this racetrack at Villa Park has been treacherous.
Yeah, Dean Wilson here, he's on that Firepower Honda. They won the title with Roczen last year, but Wilson came into this event here feeling better on the bike than he has in a long time. He's made the move on Friese, so that could give Wilson a top 3 in race 3 if he can keep it on 2 wheels and keep Friese at bay, which is a solid ride for Dean Wilson, the rider who was born in Scotland.
Yes.
Part of the United Kingdom. There's your points as they run.
And again, unofficial, Roczen right now is the guy winning GP race number 1 and going up to GP race number 2 here. Friese is up to 4th.
Still going to be a good ride for Friese. Any way you look at it,
Yep.
to win race 2, had a chance at winning race 1, ended up 2nd.
Boy, how could it have been different, Jeff, if he had won race 1 and 2?
Yeah, oh yeah. Pretty impressed with the 5th and 6th of Chisholm and Moran's, couple of American riders right there.
So, Jeff, as we watch Ken Roczen working his way to the checkered flag here in Birmingham, 2 laps remaining in this one, he's going to go away from this. He's going to have time off now between now and the next race in Singapore at the National Stadium there. What does he think about? Because he got a lot of pressure here today, and maybe he didn't expect that.
Well, I think we just have to get together with the team and see what improvements they can make to the bike. I mean, it seems like Ken's physical conditioning is perfect right now. But maybe let his body rest a little bit and then get back into the training and maybe just focus on himself and making sure that when he shows up to Singapore that his energy level, his enthusiasm is the best that it can be, because as I understand it, can get pretty warm there in Singapore.
Oh boy, Vince.
Oh, he's down.
Oh boy. And Friese got going again. He's still in 4th according to timing and scoring as the final lap is underway here in Birmingham.
Well, Roczen was challenged today. Definitely. Didn't win the Super Pole, which was kind of surprising. Justin Hill got that. Friese gets a race win. But here, now that we're at the end of the British Grand Prix, it's all Roczen.
Ken Roczen comes to Birmingham. The double checkers wave. He lights the candles as Ken Roczen wins the British Grand Prix GP race number 3, which, if all things finish officially, should be enough for him to claim the overall here at the British Grand Prix, the 2023 season opener for the FIM World Supercross Championship in the WSX category.
Look at this nice whip here by Ken Roczen, looking over the crowd here at Villa Park. And hey, your reigning champions ended up winning both classifications here at the British Grand Prix, proving why they are the reigning champions.
Ken Roczen with his first overall victory in the World Supercross Series, despite winning the championship last year. This is the first time you've been able to claim the overall on the night in the World Supercross Championship. Take me through those passes on Vince Friese and Joey Savatgy for this final GP race win of the night.
Yeah, I didn't do that many starts leading into this. I should have probably done a few more starts, but it was tricky. It was really hard pack afterwards, and I tried to shift early, but could never really get the jump that great. And second start, like basically every start, there's a lot of carnage going on up there, and yeah, I had to fight my way through. And obviously those short races, it's tough to make that many passes, you know. Obviously I ran out of time in that second one, and the last one I grabbed a bit of a better start and had a little bit more time throughout this 12-lapper. Me and Joey were battling. We got really close a couple of times. Luckily, everything was clean and safe. But yeah, Vincent came in on me hard, and I don't blame him. Like, everybody wants to win, you know. But I was lucky I got to make the pass and have a clear track and manage it from there. For how basic the track was, it got chewed up really good, you know. It was tricky out there. Even the whoops, they were small, but got really cupped out. So it was great practice, and yeah, on to the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's podium time for the FIM World Supercross Championship here in Birmingham. Presenting the trophies, SX Global CEO, Mr. Adam Bailey. In third place, it's Vince Freezy. In second place, Joey Savacci. And your round winner, please congratulate the reigning champion in the WSX category, Ken Roczen. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate your winners of the World Supercross Championship here in Birmingham. Time for the champagne. Let it fly, boys. Well, that's it from here in Birmingham. It was an exciting time on the podium. Let that champagne fly, guys. There it goes. Ken Roczen, Joey Savacci, and Vince Freezy, the top three overall here at the British Grand Prix. For Kristen Beat, Chad Reed, Jeff Emick, I'm Ralph Sheen. We sure hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the British Grand Prix. Congratulations to SX2 winner tonight, Shane McElrath, and our WSX winner, Ken Roczen. I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Villa Park here